The war in West Asia is now causing tensions in Europe too. Massive repercussions of that has been between Israel and France. A recent event of Israel bombing a French oil facility in Lebanon has of course worsened the ties, the once healthy relationship between Israel and France turning sour. And while the political drama continues to intensify, the two countries are gearing up to face off on another battlefield, the football pitch. Israel will take on France in a Nations League game later tonight, but not in Jerusalem, as was the original schedule, but in Budapest instead. Right, the match has obviously been moved to Hungary ever since the war began. All of Israel's home matches, in fact, have been moved to Hungary. But the biggest question is, when the two sides face each other, will the focus be entirely on football?
The situation in Israel is really difficult at the moment. I don't think you can realize how the situation is difficult when soldiers defend our borders, kill for our country, so we can keep playing football and doing what we are good at. But we understand that our country is in different days, and there are some things that are much important than our games.
You just heard the Israeli captain there, Dor Peretez, saying that he feels the intensity and the pressure, that the backdrop of the war cannot escape this face-off. This, of course, comes just hours before the two sides will step onto the pitch. Clearly, football alone won't be the focus. We know that, and rightly so. The Israel and Hamas war has been going on for over a year now. A war that has seen casualties and bloodbath, and the military battle has now seen the involvement of Iran and Lebanon too. But in the context of the Israel and France match, Peretez's statement is not a reflection of the situation in West Asia, but the ongoing tensions between the two countries. It, of course, all started with France halting the arms delivery to Israel and President Macron criticizing Israel's Prime Minister Netanyahu, which led to a strong retaliation from Israel, who bombed that French oil facility. This was Israel's way of expressing their frustration over France backing out.
As Israel fights the forces of barbarism led by Iran, all civilized countries should be standing firmly by Israel's side. Yet President Macron and some other Western leaders are now calling for an arms embargo against Israel. Shame on them.
And the firefighting isn't just coming from Israel. They might have expressed their anger over the whole incident, but France too continues to hold its ground in the matter.
Nous sommes en solidarité avec la sécurité d'Israël. Et je le dis
I regret that Prime Minister Netanyahu made another choice and took on this responsibility, in particular land operations on Lebanese soil. And so, yes, if we call for a ceasefire, what's consistent is not to provide weapons of war. And I think that those who supply them cannot call for a ceasefire every day and continue to supply them.
Néanmoins, nous essayons aussi d'être cohérents.
So clearly, when the two countries take on each other in Budapest, the political tension is definitely going to spill over. And while Israel may think that hosting their home matches in Budapest is the safest option, it probably isn't. For the past few months, Budapest has seen a lot of anti-Israel protests. And in the middle of this, just picture an Israeli football side traveling to face France. It's quite the pot boiler. So when these two sides face off, security will be on high alert, as this promises to be a high-octane clash. And as seen in Euros, French fans aren't the easiest to tackle. They have a history of being rowdy, to be polite, not just during the match, but before the game too, when they want to intimidate their opponents and the opposing fans. So when the French fans visit Budapest to support their team, tensions will be high. Something even the Israeli team is aware of.
As you say, the situation is really strange to host the game here in Budapest. Some situations that happening during this year that keep happening. So we have this amazing privilege to host the game in here and to play football during our countries in a war. So we can keep playing football and doing what we are good at.
And here's what makes it worse, the fact that French captain Kylian Mbappe won't be part of the squad here. He won't be part of this face-off. Given the fandom Mbappe has, this might have helped ease the tensions a notch or two there, signaling the start of a new rivalry brewing here. That's itself is what's setting up nicely. A rivalry that didn't originate on the football field, though, but over a feud on political grounds, and that's what's going to be a little interesting to see.
Firstpost decodes the U.S. election, explains how America chooses its president. Your primer on the race to the White House. Everything you need to know about how America votes and its global implications. U.S. Election Explained. Every Monday and Thursday only on Firstpost.